There's a lot of different components
Do
to
you think,
information.
what do you think is more important? Not even important. Yeah, let's say important. I guess that's the word. Education or intelligence?
Depends where you get your intelligence from. If you were well educated, you will be intelligent.
Okay.
If you just claim that you're intelligent, you have no proof to support that.
Okay, so let me correct you. So intelligence and education is totally different. I could be educated based off remembering something. How I pass a test is all based off memory. They give me a formula, I remember the formula, and then I go ahead and solve the problem. But someone had to give me the formula, right? So the person that made the formula is the intelligent person, because they created a formula to then teach someone else, so then you could memorize that formula to pass the test. So those people are intelligent because they came up with the formula and then they educated someone else, right? So education and intelligence is 100% different. So people are educated based off of what they are taught, and that's based off of memory. And guess what? It's based off of indoctrination, because anyone can make up a formula that's nonsense, right? And then spew that nonsense to someone else, and they could remember that, and then they can spew it down. Mm-hmm. An intelligent person is someone that has the ability to critically think and to think on their own. You get what I'm saying? So education tells you what to think. College, they tell you what to think, right? They don't teach you how to think, mm-hmm. right? So most human beings don't know how to think. 98% of human beings on this planet have perception. 2% of people have a perspective, right? That means that they have the ability to have a perspective to critically think about what they perceived and what they were influenced by, to break it down to actually have a genuine perspective on it. That's different than what they actually was perceived, right? So 98% of people, based off what they perceived, that's how they think. 2% of people, based off what they perceive, they critically think about it, and then they have a perception about it that's differently based off what they perceived. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, so intelligence is much different. So, just some homework to do. Anything you read or anything you study, what people are saying, even with me, what I'm saying, don't just be believing it. You shouldn't be believing in anything. Actually do some research and try to critically think about, well, why am I thinking this way? Who told me to think this way? Where did this information come from, right? Because all information is it's all influence based, right? So I'm influencing the audience right now, and I'm influencing you right now, right? And all you ladies and the people in the back. But freak what I'm saying, go out there and figure it out for yourself and think and critically think and see if what I'm saying is actually factual. Don't just be believing in things. You know the truth. You know that there are two genders. So this is the thing, right? We have feelings. Human beings are very simple. We operate real easily. So we have, and we're human beings of free will. We have free will that God granted us with, that we have the ability to make decisions in our life. And the decision could be erratic, right? We could be, a person can grow up in the hood, right? And he I'll use myself for an example. I grew up in the hood. Brother did 20 years in prison. People, my friends was out there doing mad things, selling drugs. Everyone was doing crazy things. I grew up in the projects. Life was pretty bad. It wasn't easy, right? I've never drank. I've never smoked. I don't do any of those things. I don't cuss. So it's not because I'm, well, Lord Savior, as I said. It's just because I have a perception about things. I was influenced to perceive things just how everyone else was perceiving it, but I chose a different route to critically think about my life and to make different decisions. That doesn't mean that I was perfect. I failed, got back up, failed, got back up, and kept working my way up. So environment doesn't dictate. What I'm saying is, right, environment dictates 98% of people. They say, oh, well, I'm a product of my environment. You think the way you think because the environment. 2023 with all this pride stuff, that's why you're thinking this way. What I'm telling you is you can get out of that environmental thought that you have. You don't have to be like that dude that's like, oh, well, I had to sell crack because, they were selling crack when I was in the hood. You don't have to be like that person. You don't have to be like, well, I believe in a rainbow flag because that's what they're telling me to believe in. You can have, you got free will. You can have your own free thought. Is this making sense?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just like how people say, "Oh, my mother or father did this, now I do it."
Yeah.
Like,
Let me tell you real quick.
I feel as though you have your own. You're your own person. Do what the you want to do. Why are you gonna do it because you see your mother do it? Like.
But thank you, Sarah, for sharing your last thoughts. For sharing that. Before I get to you, real quick, it's because then we going around, but then I get to you. How'd you like the podcast?
Who are you talking to?
You.
It was okay.
She just told me how she liked the podcast. You okay?
It was okay.
Would you come back?
Maybe in like a couple years and then prove you wrong. And, like, have a nice man to bring in with me. And,
Man.
like,
Well, this isn't
or a woman,
Or,
like I could be wifed up too.
Or you could bring a man or a woman. Hey,
Yeah. Who knows?
you have free will. Like
Maybe
I said,
I'll surprise
do what
you.
want.
Maybe I'll educate you then too.
Well,
Okay.
on to you. Oh, you had something
Real
to say,
quick,
right?
basically to sum it up what you were saying, the whole thing about education and intelligence. Education is what you're told, what you're taught. Intelligence is what you take from that and how you actually put it into your own thoughts, your own mind. And you listen to intelligence is what you could do with what you're educated on. And it's not just like straight up like, oh, I heard this is what it is. Intelligence is thinking for yourself off of what you're already educated on. You got to have your own opinions, basically, your own thoughts. And that's why everybody's opinions could be wrong because it's your opinion.
Yeah.
But somebody also can't tell you that your opinion is wrong because that's the point of calling it an opinion.
Yeah, and she agrees with this. The thing is, you're like fighting with yourself with it. Like, it's like, yeah, I agree with this part, but my feelings is here, so I don't want to agree with that because since my feelings is here, I have to protect other people's feelings. But you got to think about it. Feelings, people feel like they want to have kids. People feel like they want to kill other people. You can't be concerned with feelings. Feelings get you lost, right? So if feelings is what you're going to harp on, well, you'll be harping on a lot of dangerous things like this, what you're harping on now. That's dangerous. Think about it. If everyone was how you want it to be, well, let people all be LGBTQ. Well, the planet will be gone in 200 years, human society, because no one will be having babies. Science will have to take us to another level. We have to be taking eggs from here and eggs from there. Maybe we could clone it. So it's like, it is crazy. Science will have to take us to lead society on if the LGBTQ runs the world. So, and that's crazy. God would destroy before then. You read the Bible. He did it in Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, yeah, last questions. If you have any? No? All right, last thoughts on the